Hey guys, what is up? Welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Giovanni and I'm so happy that you're here today. So in today's video, I'm going to be doing a little book haul. Not so little book haul here, but so last week it was my birthday and really all I wanted was books this year. So some of these were with some gift cards that I got for my birthday, and some were just I treated myself with. So I'm gonna go through all of these and let you know which ones I got, and let's go through them and see what we're gonna do. So the first two books that I got were actually at Target while I was running errands on my birthday. So first one I picked up is Firestarter by Stephen King. You'll see throughout this book haul that a lot of them are from Stephen King. He is absolutely one of my favorite authors. Unfortunately, there are some books of his that, I just don't care for. But typically what I try and do is with every book that has a movie out, I try and read the book first and just completely avoid the movie. That way it doesn't, I'm not biased towards anything and it doesn't mess with the whole storyline for me. So for this book, Andy McGee and Vicky Tomlinson were once college students looking to make some extra cash, volunteering as test subjects for an experiment orchestrated by the clandestine government organization known as the Shop. But the outcome unlocked exceptional latent psychic talents for the two of them, manifesting in even more terrifying ways than they fell in love and had a child. Their daughter, Charlie, has been gifted with the most extraordinary and uncontrollable power ever seen, pyrokinesis, the ability to create fire with her mind. Now the merciless agents of the Shop are in hot pursuit to apprehend this unexpected genetic anomaly for their own diabolical ends by any means necessary, including violent actions that may well ignite the entire world around them as Charlie retaliates with a fury of her own. I definitely want to watch the movie right after this because I love Zac Efron, so hopefully this book will live up to the expectations that I have for it. And then the next book that I also got was Salem's Lot by Stephen King. This movie literally just came out, so gotta read this before I watch it at the movie theater. But I don't really know what this one's about other than I heard it's about vampires, which personally me, I don't really care for vampire books. Like, they're just not my thing. I was never into Twilight or anything like that. But so this one is Ben Mears has returned to Jerusalem's Lot and hopes that exploring the history of the Marston House, an old mansion long the subject of rumor and speculation, will help him cast out his personal devils and provide inspiration for his new book. Obviously, every single main character has to be a writer, but when two young boys venture into the woods and only one returns alive, Mears begins to realize that something sinister is at work. In fact, his hometown is under siege from the forces of darkness, and only he, with a small group of allies, can hope to contain the evil that is growing within the borders of this small New England town. With this, his second novel, Stephen King established himself as the indisputable master of American horror, able to transform the old conceits of the genre into something fresh and all the more frightening to take place in a familiar, idyllic locale. So those were all the books that I got from Target. Next up, I did get I got a total of 6 books at Half Price Books. I like how every single year they send me a 15% off coupon for my birthday, so that is what I used to get all of these. The first book that I got was The Wise by Taryn Fisher. This is the only non-Stephen King book that I got there. I have read her other book, The Wrong Family, and that is one of my all-time favorite books. So hopefully this one will be good as well, because I've heard that a lot of people like this one more. And for this one, imagine that your husband has 2 other wives. You've never met the other wives, none of you know each other, and because of this unconventional arrangement, you can see your husband only 1 day a week, but you love him so much that you don't care. or at least that's what you've told yourself. But one day while you're doing laundry, you find a scrap of paper in his pocket, an appointment reminder for a woman named Hannah, and you just know it's another of the wives. You thought you were fine with your arrangement, but you can't help yourself. You track her down, and under false pretenses, you strike up a friendship. Hannah has no idea who you really are. Then Hannah starts showing up to your coffee dates with telltale bruises, and you realize she's being abused by her husband, who of course is also your husband. But you've never known him to be violent, ever. Who exactly is your husband, and how far would you be willing to go to find out? And who is this mystery third wife? And the next book that I got was The Girl Who Loved Tom Gordon by Stephen King. This girl on TikTok, I saw that she rated this one of her top 10 books. And I'd never seen this one before until I saw the TikTok, and then the next day I went to Half Price. But this one sounded really good. On a 6-mile hike on the Maine, New Hampshire branch of the Appalachian Trail, 9-year-old Trisha McFarlane quickly tires of the constant bickering between her older brother Pete and her recently divorced mother. But when she wanders off by herself and then tries to catch up by attempting a shortcut, she becomes lost in the wilderness maze full of peril and terror. As the night falls, Trisha has only her ingenuity as a defense against the elements, and only her courage and faith to withstand her mounting fears. For solace, she turns her Walkman to broadcast of Boston Red Sox baseball games and follows the gritty performance of her hero, relief pitcher Tom Gordon. And when her radio reception begins to fade, Trisha imagines that Tom Gordon is with her, protecting her from an all-too-real enemy who has left a trail of slaughtered animals and mangled trees in the dense dark woods. This book sounds it's going to be kind of hard to read, and it's crazy what children can do with their mind to kind of just avoid what's going on and kind of help them get through this. So I can't wait to read this one. The next one that I got was End of Watch by Stephen King. For nearly 6 years in room 217 of the Lates Region Traumatic Brain Injury Clinic, Brady Hartsfield has been in a persistent vegetative state. A complete recovery seems unlikely for the insane perpetrator of the Mercedes massacre, in which 8 people were killed and many more maimed for life. But behind the vacant stare, Brady is very much awake and aware, having been pumped full of experimental drugs, scheming, biding his time as he trains himself to take full advantage of the deadly new powers that allow him to wreak unimaginable havoc without ever leaving his hospital room. Brady Hartsfield is about to embark on a new reign of terror against thousands of innocents, hell-bent on taking revenge against anyone who has crossed his path, with retired police detective Bill Hodges at the very top of that long list. So this one definitely sounds interesting. As you can tell, I like the really small, just the throwaway paperbacks of basically all of my books. But yeah. The next one that I got was The Long Walk by Stephen King. I did have this one on my Kindle, but I just like having all of the little paperbacks on my bookshelf, so I picked this one up as well. Against the wishes of his mother, 16-year-old Ray Garrity is about to compete in the annual grueling match of stamina and wits known as the Long Walk. 100 boys must keep a steady pace for 4 miles per hour without ever stopping, with the winner being awarded the prize, anything he wants for the rest of his life. But as part of this national tournament that sweeps through a dystopian American year after year, there are some harsh rules that Garrity and 99 others must adhere in order to beat out the rest. There is no finish line. The winner is the last man standing. Contestants cannot receive any outside aid whatsoever. Slow down under the speed limit and you're given a warning. 3 warnings and you're out of the game permanently. This one sounds very terrifying. I love all the dystopian America type books that he has. So hopefully this one will live up to its expectations. And then the next one that I got was Gerald's Game. This one I actually just finished reading. It was very okay. He has a lot better books. I heard that this one wasn't as good as his other books, which I can clearly understand that now. But I just wanted to read this book before I watched the movie. And so this one's about a couple goes away to their like cabin in the woods. The husband handcuffs his wife to the bedpost, trying to be, I guess, like romantic slash kinky, and that kind of made me feel uncomfortable reading, but luckily it wasn't so much of the book itself. But he dies and she's left stuck to the bedpost. So because she's stuck for a couple of days, she has these weird like hallucinations, voices that she's talking to, just trying to figure out how to get out of the situation that she's in. So I would definitely recommend reading this book, even though it wasn't one of his greatest, because the next book that I got that I need to read from him is Dolores Claiborne. This one actually takes place the same time as the backstory of this one, because it takes place during a lunar eclipse. I think that's what they're called. But yeah, so for this one, it's when Vera Donovan, one of the wealthiest and most ill-natured residents of Maine's Little Tall Island, dies suddenly in her home. Suspicion is immediately cast on her housekeeper and caretaker, Dolores Claiborne. Dolores herself is no stranger to such mistrust, thanks to the local chatter and mysterious circumstances surrounding her abusive husband's death 29 years earlier. But if this is truly to be the day of Dolores Claiborne's reckoning, she has a few things of her own that she'd like to get off of her chest, and begins to confess a spirited, intimate, and harrowing tale of the darkest secrets hidden within her hard-scrabble existence, revealing above all one woman's unwavering determination to weather the storm of her life with grace and protect the one she loves, no matter what the cost. So this one I saw was a really good read of his. It's like more higher up there than Gerald's Game, so I can't wait to read this one. I just don't know if I'm gonna have time this month, because I picked this one up after I made my TBR for this month, and I kind of have a heavier challenge on my hands, so we shall see how this goes. Okay, and so the last books that I got, they were from Amazon. I picked up the A Court of Thorns and Roses series. So prior to getting this, I did not know that these are spicy books, that there's some smut, especially I believe it's the third one that has a lot of it. But I have seen literally everyone on TikTok, everyone on the booktube world, literally everywhere reading these books, and so I was like, this is not up my alley, but maybe I can give it a try and see if I like it. The way that I accidentally got these is I could have sworn that I saw somewhere that someone said that these are like Game of Thrones but for women, and I think I was getting it confused with Diary of the Orange Tree, so that's how I ended up getting these. But hopefully these will be good. I definitely want to broaden my genre for this year, because I feel, especially last year, I read a lot of mysteries slash thrillers, and they're all starting to sound the same. Like, I swear every single book that I've been reading is the main character is a liar, and you find that at the very end, and it's just getting too repetitive at this point. So hopefully these will broaden my genre a bit. And that was all the books that I bought. I did also buy some sticky tabs. So one thing I've never liked doing is I don't take care of my books, especially my paperbacks. They kind of just get thrown around. Like, for example, like, look at this poor Stephen King book of mine. What I wanted to do is I wanted to try annotating at least some books this year, kind of get into it and see if I like it. So these are all the colors I got, and I actually bought these because later on this month I do plan on reading Diary of the Orange Tree. I do plan on filming it, annotating it, letting y'all know my thoughts on it, because right at the very end of this month, the second book, which is like the prequel that takes place 1,000 years before A Day of Fallen Night, that one comes out. So right when I finish reading Pyre of the Orange Tree, I'm going to be reading that one. So yeah, I have a lot of work to get to on this. But thank you all so much for watching and making it to the end of this video. I will continue posting all these book related YouTube videos as much as I can. I do have quite a busy month this month, but hopefully, you know, I'll do the best I can. So thank you all so much for watching, and I will see you all in my next video. Bye.